Hello everyone, welcome back to another layout video. This is the newest layout I've made. I made it just a few weeks after I took down the last one, but I haven't been feeling well as of late, so I haven't gotten a chance to make a good video of it. But I'm here now, and I'm going to make this video just a few days before I probably take this layout down. I'm very proud of this one, so I wanted to show it off especially. It's more complicated than a lot of my recent ones and a lot of the ones I've already made. So I'm very proud of this one, and without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to start here at Knapford, where we have Sydney, who is pulling Rocky, Spencer, who is pulling the Duke and Duchess's coach car. We have Logan with the red coal cars that came with the coal station. That destination is not on here. I did not have room for it, but I put the coal cars on here anyway. And the caboose is also here, the red caboose. Behind Logan. And then in the last platform, we have Gordon and his express coaches. We also have Bulgy off to the side, probably taunting the engines. And I made sure to leave plenty of space for the passengers in case they want to protest outside of Stromhat's office in case they want their money back. I'm going to go over a real quick loop around Knapford. It just leads to Timoth and back to Knapford, and it meets up at this switch. So, we're going to see D199 here, who is probably eavesdropping on all the conversations that the engines are having. We have a little sliver of Thomas's branch line right here. There's actually a lot of Thomas's branch line on this layout, which I'm pretty happy about. We have Harold's helipad, which I guess you could call dry on, and Terrence's field is also here, and the airfield's here, which we'll get to in a minute. We go under the suspension bridge, which is a destination I'm very happy I was able to use again. And we get to a T-switch where Hugo is, which connects to Timoth's Shez, which we'll also get to in a minute. And then we also get to the scrap yard and the recycling center as I try to get a better angle for it. Not much of a road here, but it's okay. Lorry 1's at the scrapyard, and the recycling center's pretty barren. No one there right now, but that's okay. And then we get the track, and it just leads back to platform 1 at Knapford, so it's a full loop. So we're gonna keep going along this line. We're gonna go straight here past the aquarium, and then we're gonna turn right. That's right. That way's right, yeah. And past the signal box I have here. We're going to go through the waterfall tunnel, a very nice piece I've gotten within the last year. And we come to this little, I guess you could call this the second platform at Elsbridge. I don't have any other station besides the all-aboard station for Elsbridge, but if I did, I would probably put it right there. I'd probably want Elsbridge platform, but I do not have that, and that's okay. This is another part of Thomas's branch line. You can also see the gristmill there, which that line we'll get to in a minute. And Daisy's right here right now. Thomas and Bertie, we're probably just trying to have a conversation. And Daisy probably just came up and started bragging about herself, which they probably didn't want to hear, so that's unfortunate for them. We're going to keep going along this line anyway. We go over this crossing here. We get to a switch. This line is the engine wash. We have James sorts it out, and the engine wash right now I sort of have a line because paint splatter Thomas is here. I used all 3 Thomas from the Thomas's Adventures 3-pack, whatever, which I have not done on a layout to date, so I'm very proud of that. Going under here, we have sort of this valley, I'd call it, between the clock tower and the lifting bridge. We have a sort of car accident that happened here. The cement lorry hit the scrap lorry and cemented him in place, so that's going to be hard to get him out. The ambulance is also here. We come to the 3-in-1 scenes. I'm using it as Marion Station this layout. And Bowler is there right now, probably trying to sneak around the railway. And it seems that he is talking to not Sir Topham Hatt, but someone who looks very similar. So I'm using the CGI model of Wooden Sir Topham Hatt as Sir Lowell Hatt. I think that's a funny idea, a clever idea, so that's what I'm doing. We go under the clock tower, meet back up to the engine wash. Really, it's just a diversion from the same line. You'll end up in the same place anyway. We go past the Glenlock switch tower. We'll get to that line, that short line, in a minute. We go past the museum stop and go station. And although it is a stop and go station, I do try to separate my signal boxes fairly decently, so that way they cover bigger portions of the railway. That's technically not a signal box, that's just a museum. It just has the stop and go signs on it, so that's okay. And then we get to the Steamworks. The Steamworks is a place I'm very proud of this layout, as I try to get a better angle for it, but there's not many places to stand. We'll get to over there in a minute, but so you can see the Steamworks there. We'll get to more of it in a minute. We'll get to who's in there then in a minute, but right now we can see there's a little diversion with there's a little siding that goes under the crane. I'm actually really happy how that looks. It looks accurate to the series, I'd say. The oil depot is there, and although Although there is no diesels that go to the Steamworks, I just put that there in case they want their wheels oiled, even though it has a machine in it already. It's fine, diesels can go there. Right now we have Dustin talking to Kevin. I don't usually put Kevin on layouts, but I decided to use him on this one. Anyways, we're gonna stay on the inside track for now. So we're gonna go this way. We pass the switch again, and here we come into the yards. The yards. This layout is under construction, which I'm actually. This is the first time I've done something like this. I think it was a very clever idea to just have it under construction. We can see Sir Tom Hat trying to survey the construction site, make sure everything's going according to plan. We have the whole pack here. We also have Diesel 10 here, and I'll explain why he's here and not at the Diesel Works in just a moment, but that's where Diesel 10 is this layout. He's not at the Diesel Works like he usually is. I decided to put him somewhere different, and you'll see why in a minute. So we also have Kelly and Nelson on the outside, observing everything that's going on. I also use this version of Scruffy. Not something I do very often. I don't really use that version of Scruffy very often, if at all. So this is the first layout he's been on in years, probably. If this yard was finished, I'd probably like it just as much as I do now. But I decided to make it just look like this, and I thought it was very cool. Also, since I wanted the yard to access both lines of Knapford, I put this little crossing line in so that way they could get to the other platforms at Knapford as well as that one. So there's that. Anyways, we're going to go on platform 4 now, where Gordon is. Obviously, Logan's line, platform 3 is the terminus. So we're just going to go this way. We have the bell tower here, which as far as I'm aware, is the tallest building, destination, whatever you want to call it, and Thomas and Friends wouldn't really. Going here, we have the little line we saw where Vinny is, and he's talking to 2 very suspicious cooks. Not sure what they're doing at the signal box, but they're there. And you can see that whole thing is just a loop. It's just a very small loop. I don't know why you would, maybe that's the loop line, actually. I'm not sure. We're going to go this way. You probably know where this goes. You saw the grist mill earlier. We go over the crossing again to Elsbridge. I'm going to go a little more in depth at Elsbridge. We have the all aboard station. Thomas and Bertie, obviously. That is the 10 Years in America Thomas. Actually, my favorite version of Thomas. I like it more than the version that came out before it and after it, the regular version. So I use that one. Here's my 3 Greyface Troublesome trucks and the NW brake van. Also, I put the ticket booth here as like a bus stop for Birdie. I've done that with a few times now. I put it next to Wellsworth as well. That ticket booth came in the Timoth travel set. It's a destination. It's an obscure one, but I'm very happy to own it. Not many people know of its existence, and I'm very happy to have that. So we go this way. We'll get to that line, that short line, in a minute. We're going to keep going straight here. We go past this little dairy. And then we get to sort of the quarry area. We have a bunch of buildings. I attest this to, in my own town, seeing like those little portable buildings they have at construction sites, those little trailer houses. That's what this is. They have little like houses for the workmen at the construction site. We have Merrick. I'm very happy to have Merrick. We'll go to where his line goes in a minute. He's become one of my favorite destinations so far. So we have 2 sightings here. First of all, we have Oliver, who's helping Mavis. Well, we'll go over the shed first. Mavis is in the shed. The shed sort of reminds me, at the quarry, sort of reminds me of the one in Duncan Gets Spooked, even though this is a standard gauge line. Just reminds me of that. We have a workman there, too. It's hard to see. He's the guy with the lantern. Maybe Mavis broke down. Maybe she's just resting. But anyways, Oliver is helping her, pushing a few trucks. Thumper's here, too. I didn't use Boulder Mountain, but I wanted to put a little bit of quarry decoration, so Thumper's there. We have another workman there by Oliver's train. The Rock Crusher, the Blue Mountain Quarry Loader, and then the line dead ends at Echo Tunnel, which I actually like using Echo Tunnel as a dead end, you know, because it's sort of a cave. So, yeah. Moving on, we go past this line, and this is where the Diesel Works is. So, since the yard is under construction, as you can see, they needed a place to store all the trucks, and the Diesel Works was chosen. You can see the Flying Scotsman in the line above. We'll get to that line in a minute. It's a little crazy. But we have a few cars in the Diesel Works. As you can see, I had to move the barrel loader. Usually it'd be right there, but obviously there's a thing there. And it would fit, but I don't think it'd look good with that track over it, so I just put it there. I put the Magic Railroad car on the turntable. It's not a car I use very often nowadays, But I thought it would be funny because that's the thing that Diesel has been searching for all this time is the gold dust, and it's right in front of him or on this turntable, and he'll never know. So besides that, Steamworks is fairly standard. We have Norman right here pulling a train. We have the Galen Troublesome truck. You can barely see him, but Fred, and then the chocolate Ricky and the yellow brake van. So going down this line, we go past the airfield. Let me try to get an angle of this. We go past the airfield here. We go over the highway crossing where the Crosby Station cargo truck is. I just put it there. I thought it looked good right next to Tim's Sheds. So at Tim's Sheds, we have Neil, Don, and Douglas, who are sort of our mainstays, and we have some very peculiar, that's an interesting word, peculiar, can't say it, happenings going on in the verse. We have the two visitors from last time who were in the yards are now in the sheds, and it seems that they have played a prank. They have put three very strange cars in the sheds. So in the sheds, we have the Troublesome Brake Van, Peeve, the Whiteface Troublesome Truck, Plod, and the Chapter and Indigo Boxcar. All in the sheds. Tom Hatt seems like he's gonna sort this whole situation out. So going along this line, we have something I don't do very often. This is backcountry area, which is I don't do backcountry. I know it's like a wooden railway staple for a lot of people, but for me, I've never done it. But I decided to do it. It reminds me of the Claw of the Law layout that Thomas Wooden Railway made. The backcountry right next to Tim's Sheds or behind it or whatever. We're gonna go on this line first. So we come up here, we get to the hilltop station, or just the top station as I like to call it. The little road section is very simple. It goes from the hospital to the top station down here. Under what I would call Bulgy's Bridge. If you can't tell, I use a lot of staples from Thomas Wooden Railway's videos, like the backcountry used to say, and using that little red riser as Bulgy's Bridge. We have the cement works, and instead of the cement lorry being there, because I forgot to mention we have a car crash right here. I got in a car crash with the scrap lorry, and it cemented itself in place, so it's going to be very hard to get out, and we have the ambulance here right now. So they're all away from their places. That's why lorry 1 is at the scrap yard. And Kevin, the other version of Kevin, not the 2012 one, the learning curve one, is there. And I just put both versions of Kevin because I said, why not? I got them both out, and I couldn't decide which one I want to use, so I used them both. By the way, that is a very horrible version of Kevin, but I used it anyway. And so the road continues, goes under the tunnel, and then it goes under this archstone bridge. I usually don't use the archstone bridge, but I did this time and last time, so I've actually used it both times, which is very peculiar. It's not one I use very often, but I use it here, so that's okay. We'll get to that line in a minute, of course. So following this line, we have Ryan pulling the 10 Years in America coach and the brass band coach. Those are the only two red coaches they made in Wooden Railway. I used them both together to make at least something that looks like a train. And we go this way. We go past this little shed, we get to Olfstead right here. So, Stevens in his little shed here. We have the little coal bunker next to him, and it actually is the coal bunker, or the little cargo bin that came with Olfstead Castle. So, it makes sense. That's this little lone shed. So that's the two special engine sheds I have on the layout. One right there, and then one right there. Steven's in it right now. I don't know why, but I get the sense that he's grumpy. So, there's that. We go this way. There's a T-switch back there. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a T-switch right next to the ice cream factory. One line goes under the castle, under the little transfer table, I guess. Goes past the fire station for a very short, excuse me, a very short road section there where the fire truck is, and it goes into platform 2 where Spencer is. That's how that line connects. And if you keep going straight, you go past the ice cream factory, of course, and you get to Olfstead Station where Splatter and Dodge are. That's where they went instead of the Diesel Works. And Mr. Percival's there, probably keeping an eye on them. And if you keep going this line, you get back to that switch that connects to the Steamworks where we were earlier, and that kind of makes a loop. So, with that in mind, we really only have one line left, but it is a very long line. So, going on the inside track, we go past the Sodor repair. Again, like last time, maybe he's repairing the track right there, maybe he's just traveling to repair some more track. Again, one of my favorite Wooden Railway models to repair. Always try to use him. I think he's great. So we go over the Archstone Bridge. We have this sort of, it is the chocolate factory here. there used to be the lighthouse bridge right there, but it went, so there's been a few changes to this layout. Like the yard used to be right here, and and that used to be a dead end. The Hilltop station, sort of like a Baraboo for Gordon, the Kirk station, and so it kind of made more sense to have a stream going in there, but now it's not a dead end, so I just made that track. But still, now with the arch on bridge, there still is like a little valley here, and you're kind of stuck between two hills. And the chocolate factory is right there, and Percy's Chocolate Crunch is at the end of a hill. It's just this time it's at the end of two hills. Either way, so going up, we have another red riser. Not Bulgy's bridge, but I guess there is road going into this little gap, so maybe it is another bridge like that. I'm not sure. Either way, we get up to Olfstead Castle. Caitlin's at Olfstead Castle right now. No Connor. She goes down this way, and we've been over that track before. We go above Olfstead Station now, where Splatter is. We were where Dodge is before. And we come into the Steamworks again, and I guess I'll get to more of the Steamworks right now. So we have the Thomas Comes to Breakfast is on that side. Sir Handle's on this side. I use Sir Handle because he comes with the ice cream factory. That's how I got my Sir Handle, and that's the one I use. There's also a Workman, and going this way is a T-switch to the other Steamworks building here. I have all three, again, like I said last time, I think, but again, no space for the second one, or the third one, I guess. But this time there was space for this one. Smudger is up there, if you can see him on the lift, and Frida's below him, and there's another Workman. And so now we get to the last part. We get to the clock tower up here. This is where Boko was with the gold cars. And we get with the lifting bridge here. And so we go down. Here's the docks. We have Big City Engine at the little shark food aquarium, whatever you want to call it. The docks, we have a few new items. First of all, Cranky, and a few more Brio items. We have Edward, Toad, Stepney, the trucks, and of course Cranky, as I said, Butch. And we have the Admiral and Sailor John on boats. Probably two hardened sea dogs talking about their days at sea. And so going along this line, we get to the Hatch Street crossing, which probably leads into Elsbridge. Then we get to this little one that connects to Thomas's branch line. And I made that so that way engines didn't always have to go up this huge hill. So we go up Merrick, and this is a tall viaduct that goes over the diesel works. Again, inspired by Thompson Noe's layout. One of his many. A few years ago, he made one like this. They said it went over the actual shed, but it's okay. And I have the bumpy truck going down here, and it goes over the suspension bridge, and it goes down there, of course. We go from 2 tall to 1 tall. Then we go where these little logging locos, whatever you want to call them, supports are, right out of the regular, like, block risers. And since we go into Morgan's Mine, it's okay. We have the Snowplow Thomas, the last Adventures of Thomas we needed, right there. It goes into Morgan's Mine, connects to that switch. And that is the whole layout. So I want to thank you all for watching. I think this was a very good layout. I hope you agree. And maybe I'll make another one before the year ends. Maybe I won't. But if I do, I'll see you then. And if I don't, I'll make another one next year and see you then. So I hope you enjoyed this layout as much as I did. And see you next time.